There's a reason this month is called January and not Jennyware. No one wakes up on New Year's Day feeling perfect. On day one, you may feel a little bit sick from all the Jenny wheel. You may feel confused, lost, or even scared. But that's why this day matters, because real growth never starts clean. It starts with courage, not clarity. When you've made a lot of mistakes in the past or felt like you failed to achieve your dreams, it's easy to convince yourself that you just need to do things perfectly this time. But perfection is overrated. What you really want is progress. And progress begins on the first day. Don't wait for perfect timing. Perfect timing doesn't exist. All there is now. And now is messy. Now is complicated. Now is difficult. But now is also an opportunity to write a new story. A story about who you want to become. The truth is, you don't get confidence first. You build it with every step, even if it feels uncertain. In fact, uncertainty is a good sign. It means you're venturing into unknown territory, which is where the expansion happens. Listen, confidence is a reward, not a prerequisite. Don't wait for it. Instead, earn it. Do the work. Prove it to yourself. Don't wait for life to give you confidence. Take confidence. When you want something you've never had before, you must do things you've never done before, and that's what day one is about. Trying something new, taking an imperfect action, doing something that scares you. So here's the question: are you going to spend another year hoping and wishing and wanting? Or are you going to step into the mess of it? Are you going to grab life by the collar and shake it till something gives? How badly do you want this? Is it time to stop dreaming and start doing? Because here's the harsh reality. Your dreams won't protect you from the harsh realities of life. You need more than dreams. You need grit, resilience, and hard work. But you can start with the smallest habit, a tiny step that moves you forward. I'm reminded of a quote by the philosopher Søren Kierkegaard, who said, "A heavy heart can be lifted by hope, but only when that hope is anchored to action." What does that mean? It means that hope alone isn't enough. You need to anchor it to action. Just think about someone who wants to lose weight. They can't simply wish themselves into shape. They must take physical actions like exercising and eating healthy. Likewise, if someone wants to improve their relationships, they can't just wish for better connections. They must take actions like communicating effectively and building trust. We often focus too much on our feelings when it comes to achieving our goals. We say things like, "Oh, I just don't feel motivated today," or "I don't feel like working on that project." But the truth is, you can't always rely on your feelings. Sometimes you need to push through the lack of motivation, the fear, and the uncertainty. Because that's where the magic happens. You know, sometimes you have to take the first step without any guarantees, without knowing whether or not it will lead to something bigger. But that's where the beauty of life lies, in the journey, not just the destination. Don't wait for your ship to come in, swim to it. Don't wait for the right moment. Create it. This moment is all we have. Let's make the most of it. You know, one of the biggest problems with waiting is that it steals your time and energy. You end up spending years fantasizing about the future instead of living it. Waiting makes you complacent. It keeps you stuck where you are. So it's important to take action, to put one foot in front of the other, to do something today that moves you closer to your goals. When you take action, you break the cycle of waiting. You become proactive, and that's when the real magic happens. Waiting is dangerous. It tricks you into thinking you're being smart and strategic, but it ends up making you passive. Acting is uncomfortable. It puts you outside of your comfort zone, but it makes you proactive. And that's where you want to be. So let's make a commitment to ourselves. Let's promise to stop waiting and start acting, to stop dreaming and start doing. You see, true success isn't about achieving the perfect plan. It's about taking imperfect actions. These actions don't have to be flashy or grand. They just have to be consistent and meaningful. It's about showing up every day and doing your best. Even if your best is just a little bit better than the day before. Think about it this way. Life is a series of choices and decisions. Every day you make decisions that shape your future. Do you choose to watch TV or do you choose to read a book? Do you choose to eat fast food or cook a healthy meal? Do you choose to be negative or positive? These seemingly small decisions add up over time. They compound. So why not make decisions that move you towards your goals, even if they're just small steps? Why not decide to read one page of that book or prepare one healthy meal or be kind to a stranger? These small decisions can compound over time and lead to big changes in your life. Let me tell you a story about a young man who wanted to become successful. He read all the self-help books, attended seminars, but he was still struggling. One day he met a wise old man who asked him, "If you want to become successful, why don't you start with small things?" The young man was confused. "Like what?" he asked. The old man suggested he start with just one push-up a day. "But I want to be strong and fit," the young man protested. "Can't you suggest something more ambitious?" The old man smiled and said, "Sure, why not start with just one push-up a day? If you can do that consistently, you can increase the number later." Intrigued, the young man decided to try it. He started with one push-up a day and gradually increased the number as he became stronger. Years went by and the young man became successful, not just in fitness but in all areas of his life. His discipline and consistency paid off. He realized that the secret to success wasn't about grand plans, but about consistent small actions. You know, it's okay to start small. In fact, it's essential. When you're starting a new habit or working towards a long-term goal, it's crucial to be patient with yourself. Building a strong foundation takes time. Remember, Rome wasn't built in a day, and neither were the habits of highly effective people. Here's the thing, you won't wake up suddenly fearless. You won't wake up with everything figured out. You won't wake up with a perfect plan, but you can wake up and start anyway. And that's the difference. That's the shift. That's the separation between those who move and those who only imagine. Listen, every empire, every great accomplishment began with a single day of doubt, a single day of uncertainty, a single day of resistance. But it was the consistency, the resolve to keep going despite the doubt, despite the fear that made all the difference. So don't worry about the noise. Focus on your pace. Now, remember, this isn't just about starting. It's about continuing. It's about persistence. It's about not giving up when things get tough. Real strength isn't about never falling. It's about rising every time you fall. And that's where the real battle is. It's not the start that matters, it's the follow-through. The key is to establish a routine, to make it automatic. Like brushing your teeth or driving a car, you don't consciously think about each step. You just do it. And that's the goal. Make the process effortless. Once you establish the routine, you can enjoy the benefits. So don't be afraid to start small. Take one step at a time. Don't worry about tripping. Just get up and keep going. And remember, progress isn't always linear. There will be setbacks and obstacles, but that's part of the journey. Embrace the setbacks, learn from them, and keep moving forward. Remember, those who change their lives aren't the most talented. They're the most consistent. They begin and they keep beginning until momentum replaces motivation, because motivation fades, but habits stay. And habits are born on day one. You don't need a plan that stretches 10 years. You need one move today. Start the walk, write the first page. Record that voice, lift the first weight. Say no to the thing that usually wins. That's how day one speaks with action. Quiet, consistent, real. And it's not glamorous. It's not pretty, but it's yours.